So maybe you have found yourself in a place where debt seems to be piling up. It's starting to kind of cause pressure and anxiety. And one of the questions that you might be thinking about is whether or not you should consolidate your debt. So let's talk a little bit about that, what that means and when it makes sense. First of all, what is debt consolidation? It's when you take all these various debts that you have and you put them together. You basically add them together, and you would do that for one of a few different reasons. One, it might be to help reduce your minimum payments. Maybe your budget's tight, you're trying to get a little bit of relief in your payments every month, so that could be one benefit. By the way, that doesn't really help pay off your debts any faster, that just gives you some relief. Another way or another reason that you might consolidate is to reduce interest rates. So you might be in a situation where you say, hey, if I had one debt altogether, I could reduce some of these higher interest rates and push them all to a lower rate. That would help you pay off your debt faster, so that would be a good thing. And then sometimes it's just for simplicity's sake. You just want to start piling down and you don't want to keep up with 10 different accounts. You'd rather have one or two different accounts. And so it is definitely a good thing. It is something that can help you to provide that relief, help you pay off your debt faster, but it also can be dangerous if someone doesn't have self-control. Because if you take, let's say you have 6 credit cards and you're able to move all of your balances onto one of those cards, and all of a sudden the other 5 are, zero balance. If you're someone that is going to be tempted to go out and start spending on those other cards, then debt consolidation works against you. So you want to make sure that, number one, you are responsible and you are able to do debt consolidation in the way that it should be done, which is in a way that will pay off your debts faster. Now, how do you do it? Where do you go, and how do you find the best way to do this? I would really caution you against going online and Googling debt consolidation. There are a lot of companies that offer this, but they have hidden fees and they really are predatory, in my opinion. So I would not go about it that way. I would do it one of two ways. Either one, I would try to pile them all on to a credit card, and ideally a credit card that has some introductory rate like 0% for a year or 1.9% for a year. And what you can do is actually bounce from promotion to promotion. So for instance, you might have several different debts and you can pile them all on a card that you get with Discover that maybe has 0% interest for a year. So you would move all of your debts and consolidate them in that one place. And then a year from now, if you still owe, you would basically do the same thing. You would find a deal with Capital One and you would move all of those balances to Capital One, where you would get 0% for a year. And so you can play this game where you basically are moving from promotional rate to promotional rate. And what that does is helps keep your rate down so that you can pay more towards principal and less towards interest. So that would be one way that I would look at it. Another way, and this is most ideal, is if you happen to own a home and you're able to consolidate through a home equity line of credit or a second mortgage. The reason for that is it can create some tax deductible interest, which is going to help you even more, right? So if you can deduct your interest payments, that's a good thing, and you can do that in most cases when the loan is attached to a piece of real estate. Again, you need to check with your accountant, CPA, to see if that works for you, but that can be a great benefit if you have a home and you have some home equity where you can do that. A couple of resources that I can point you to really help dive into this and figure out the best ways to pay off debt, because that's really what consolidation is all about, is paying off your debt faster. One, if you have student loans, there's a great website called studentloanhero.com, and a lot of great resources there for figuring out how to pay off student loans faster, even consolidating student loans. So that's a great resource that I would recommend. And another is just a general debt resource called unbury.me. So unbury.me, and great tools and resources on how to put together a debt payoff plan that will get you out of debt faster and really help you manage some of those payments. So if you have debt, definitely try to pay it off. If consolidation makes sense, look into it, but be smart. Don't use one of these debt consolidation companies you find online, and then don't go out and rerun up those paid off credit cards or paid off credit accounts if you do consolidate. If you do that, you do it right, it will definitely lead to a better position down the road.